here we go. Second time around with the Huskies. It's been about 25 days when we play them, and since the last time, and we're looking forward to going to Seattle and playing much better than the first time that we played them. We've played a lot of games since then, and we've had a lot of time in practice to improve, and so it's a great opportunity for us to go on the road and play some great basketball.
And Coach, these two win this past weekend against a ranked team, played USC very tight. The Huskies are 5-2 in the Pac-12. How would you say this rivalry game compares to what you experienced this past weekend?
Well, yeah, it's a good question. I mean, the Pac-12 as a league, it's the first year that I can ever recall that we've been the number one RPI conference in the country in women's basketball. It is so good 1 through 12. It's an amazing conference. There's times if you look at people's schedules and whatnot that you wonder why more teams aren't ranked and stuff. But it's definitely it's going to be a great opportunity again for us to compete against a very good team, a team that's receiving votes in the top 25, and we look forward to that challenge. But it's kind of every weekend. It's kind of like that in the Pac-12 these days.
Yeah, they're 9-2 at home right now. They'll bring a lot of fans. What does your team have to do to keep this game under control?
I think for us, we're playing some pretty good basketball. At the same time, we feel like we can do a better job of taking care of the basketball. We're still a little bit up and down as far as unforced turnovers. Going back and watching the film from our last game at UCLA, we turned it over 7 times that were travel calls or moving screens or things that aren't really forced by the opponent. So we can clean those up. I think our rebounding is getting better. Our defense is getting better, but it's still not where it needs to be. So, continue improvement all week and, take the opportunity to go out and show it, in Seattle, how much better we've gotten.
Yeah, Kelsey Plum, nation's leading scorer. Mm-hmm. We know how good she is.
Yeah.
Who's covering her? What are the keys going to be to limit her scoring output?
Yeah, that's a good question. She is a tremendous talent, and she has been for her entire career over there at Washington, and it seems like she's just getting better and better. I don't know as far as when you say who's going to cover her. I think that the game plan she'll see a lot of different looks from us. I think that's the answer there. Just because she's probably going to play 40 minutes, and the ball's going to be in her hands an awful lot. But hopefully we can do a better job of limiting the looks that she had. I thought she had a lot of clean looks the first time that we played them, and that's something that I think we can definitely improve upon.
Yeah, now Mariah set a season high 20 points the last time you played Washington. Is she going to see an increased role?
I think Mariah, like this past weekend, she had some great moments. I think she's a great leader on the floor. I think right now she's looking to just be consistent as a player and, on both ends. And I think when she does that, she can have big games like she had the first time we played them. So, definitely a huge role for her all year. Whether she starts or comes off the bench, she's one of our key leaders, and she's also, a player that can score a lot of points and grab a lot of rebounds. So she knows our system, and I think that's so valuable for us. But yeah, I hope she has a huge game over there.
Now the Huskies, watching them, they can score from both inside the paint and behind the arc. What are the defensive rotations going to look like?
Well, you got to be spot on because of their ability to score, not just from the three-point line, but deep three-point line. I mean, talking about NBA range with a couple of their players, they can really stretch the defense. And so, we just got to get down and get in a stance and play really hard. When we do that, great things happen defensively. And, it sounds simple, but it's tough to do. But if we can get down, play hard for 40, we can get the coverages that I think we need.
Now you coached UW for 11 years, took 6 teams to NCAA tournaments. They've had a lot of success. What's it always like going back to coach in Seattle?
It's good to see friends. It's good to see friends, and the best thing that that comes out of it is getting our team ready to play really great brand of basketball and go over there and play at the highest level. It's actually a fun environment. It always has been because of the fan support over in Seattle for women's basketball, whether it be with UW or the WNBA, Seattle Storm. So, it's it's not anything unusual anymore to go over there and play against them and coach against them.
Yeah, do you have any recruits or athletes coming to this game?
Oh, we have a lot. We have a lot coming, and it'll be fun to see them in the stands, cheering for us.
Thanks, Coach.
You bet.
Coach, when you've got the in-state rival that you're going to play, how do you kind of use the motivation to kind of, you want to beat the Huskies, the team wants to, have the rivalry win.
Mm-hmm.
How do you kind of balance that with also keeping them focused on just the task at hand?
That's a good question. That's always a good question, especially with the youth in our program right now. And so it's something that we'll address during the week, as we prep up. And it'll also be on our, our seniors in particular, our leaders, our captains, to themselves be ready, to not be over amped about it, but really focused, and to make sure that they're sending that kind of message by their actions as well as the conversations that they'll have with the younger team members.
When you came off a win from USC and then the very close loss
Yeah.
to UCLA, I know the no moral victories angle of everything.
Mm-hmm.
What do you try to do with being so competitive and driving forward and being as high as you guys have been so far this season?
I think that we, this weekend there was some really high quality basketball being played by all three teams. And I thought there were moments out there that, as a basketball fan, you had to be just like, oh my gosh, this is great. And as a coach, you feel that way. But there's also moments where you're like kind of scratching your head and saying, what, we could do this better. So it's about just getting better each day and keeping the focus on that and continuing. I think each game we're starting to play harder and harder and understanding how physical you have to play at this level and what the officiating is going to allow in the Pac-12. And I think we're adjusting and we're getting to know that. And I think that the harder we play, the more physical we are, the better the outcome.
When you come off a weekend like that, do you try to ride the momentum or do you kind of put it back in the rearview mirror, or a little bit of both?
I think a little bit of both. I think that the locker room, as disappointed as they were on Sunday afternoon, I think there was a real feeling of confidence. And I haven't seen them since. We've been able to give them a couple days off because only this single game rotation. I'll see them here in another hour or two, just to kind of see where they're at. But the confidence side, the mental side of this is just as important as the physical side. So you bring up some really good points, but I can't answer that till I see them a little bit more. Yeah.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.